You know it never fails. Just when I'm getting ready to make a video saying it happened again, it happens again. So we've seen not one but two high-priority mass shootings just in the past couple of weeks, both by people who need their transmissions fixed. Let's just put it that way to appease the YouTube gods. Now, you'll notice something about both of these shootings. Both of these shootings occurred in gun-free zones, in areas where it is either heavily or has heavy gun control, or owning or carrying a firearm is essentially impossible if you're going to do it legally. Now, one of these took place in Canada, which is one of the worst examples of gun control on a national scale that we currently have. They have, I believe they're trying to push a mandatory buyback, or they're calling it voluntary, but of course it's voluntary as long as you do what they say, otherwise they send armed men to get your guns. And then the other one took place in Rhode Island, which is one of the harsher states when it comes to gun control, and I believe this is the second or third mass shooting that's happened in that state. And also, they both took place at schools, where I'm not sure about Canada's laws, but as we just said, they're one of the worst countries in the world for gun control. But I know that in the United States, schools are gun-free zones on a federal level. You can't get away from it. There is no state law that allows you to carry guns on school, on at least lower school, like high school and elementary school premises, unless you have permission from the school itself or you are a designated security officer. Now, another thing that you'll notice, both of these people were known. They were deranged. They had serious mental illnesses, aside from the obvious. They had made previous threats, not just privately, but on the internet. They've been on the internet for years saying, if people keep misgendering me or people keep doing things that I don't like, I'm going to go, well, in the exact words of the Rhode Island shooter, I'm going to go berserk. Now, this checks off my usual checklist to a T. Previously known to authorities, ignored by authorities, previous threats of violence. I believe both of these people, both of these men, had had previous visits from their respective police forces, and I believe in at least one case, maybe both cases, firearms were taken away from them, but somehow they got them back afterwards. So these were known threats. These men were already planning to do this. They were ignored. Why? Politics. Because they both belong to a certain group which is favored by that certain side, who also simultaneously wants to see our side massively regulated, massively disarmed, massively cuckolded. And yeah, we've seen it 100 times before. We will see it again, unfortunately. And there's a simple solution here. That is to allow parents, allow citizens, allow people who want to defend their children, who want to defend their families, to do so. Instead, we are stuck behind basically a paywall that forces us to depend on incompetent, inept people with badges who will take at least 20 minutes to show up. In Canada, I believe it's over an hour for your average response time.